All right, let's get started. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining in today. What we're going to talk about, since we're all so separate right now in these weird times where everybody kind of might be feeling a little isolated, I thought we'd talk about games that bring people together and then open up the floor for discussion on those kinds of games and then why they bring people together. First one I'd like to talk about is arcade games. Hopefully some of you remember them because it's been hard to find them recently. Because you have to go somewhere to play these games. I remember some of these racing games would have multiplayer. Basically, you want to beat high scores, and there's a lot of competition. And there's ones like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. I played the shit out of Tekken. It doesn't have to be multiplayer. It can be, though. I wanted to make sure we included tabletop games. Maybe Matthew. I don't know. Everything comes back. Like D&D and Pathfinder have been coming back recently. Like that was more something that was popular in the 80s, and now everybody's like, "Oh my god, D&D, I love it." Which I love it because it's great. And now you can play things like D&D, Pathfinder online, like with Roll20. You can have a lot of people playing. You can have a small number of people playing. It's really great because you can make your own characters, so you make it your own. You can use scenarios that are pre-made. You can make up your own. You can kind of modify the rules if you want to. There's a lot of versatility in tabletop games that I personally really like. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of D&D in here. I love it. Speaking of tabletop games, what I think does anybody have any fun stories from playing something like D&D or Pathfinder? I will always remember in a D&D campaign that I was in, there was this one guy who had a character called the Muscle Wizard. And you had to say it like that. It wasn't the Muscle Wizard, it's the Muscle Wizard. It was crazy. The next one I'd like to talk about is party games. Hopefully you've heard of these. Usually you have to gather around in the same location, but recently there's some that are online you can spectate, or somebody tell me what that one's called. Yeah, it's Mario Party, the killer of friendships. Yeah, Satchel Jackbox, that's the one. Yeah, I think Smash would be kind of a party game too, because everybody can play Smash, even though you can get really good at Smash with like practice, but people can pick up that game and play it too. I think that's a really great conversation opener. What makes a party game a good party game? I think you're right, Brandon, with the low barrier to entry and fun if you don't win too. Next, I'd really like to talk about some MMORPGs. I hope some of you play them. If not, you might be missing out a little bit. As you can tell, I have a Final Fantasy XIV bias. I can't apologize. You can play MMOs from anywhere in the world. Monster Hunter World is also great. There's specific roles you play, like tank, DPS, healer, other support as well. I included Arcade in here, even though Unchained kind of like, I don't know, did it flop? I don't think many people still play it, even though it just came out. Stuart, that's how I felt about Arcade. Just like people would camp, and I'm not that great at PvP, and then I would die all the time. Too bad Michael's not in here to tell you how much he loves WoW, because, you know, he really loves WoW. For good reasons. Yeah, a lot more MMOs are actually coming to mobile, which really surprises me. Some more games that bring people together, I'd say, are also just plain popular games. Like the Animal Crossing New Horizons that just came out bring people together like crazy when you get to go see other people's stuff. Yeah, like a fandom. Assassin's Creed is a really good one, yeah. Really good game. I forgot to put Pokemon on here. I'm sure everybody knows my bias for Persona 5 as well. The last one that I wanted to talk about is board games and card games. These are fun because you can have 2 or more players. Some popular ones are like Munchkin. Somebody mentioned Betrayal at the House on the Hill. I recently played one called Takinoko, which was super cute and had a panda. It was great. You could also include stuff like Monopoly and Uno. Yes, Magic the Gathering. Yes. For Warhammer, I put that in tabletop, but like I don't know. I kind of put it in tabletop because it has the figures, and there's just so many figures that you can have. But like, I don't know. Yeah, Stuart, board games are technically tabletop games too because you play them on a table. I kind of separated them out based on like time investment, how like you play ongoing D&D games, stuff like that. And with board games, it's usually a one session when you play them. You know, I've never played Munchkin, but I have seen it around and I know it's popular. You know, in my mom's shed, I think there are a bunch of Pokemon cards that I never played with. I just collected them because they looked cool and I like Pokemon. Oh yeah, any game could bring people together. Yes. Alright, y'all, I think it's about time to open up for Showcase. Thank y'all for coming. We're going to be talking about marketing yourself in your game next week.